So let me find out that Pavitt needs to go in the House Husband Hall of Fame as one of the best husbands we've seen. Wow. Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative, and I'm here to do a very quick episode 4 of the Rhony reboot review. Now, if you are here and you're already subscribed, thank you. Please like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and also like and share and do all that stuff. So let's get into the episode. What happened? I'll just give a very short recap. Basically, the girls finally get fed by Erin. She makes the shakshuka that she promised them, and then they go home. Erin renovates a house. Uba sells that hot sauce that I told y'all she would sell. Um, what's her face? Jenna goes shopping with Jessel and then carries back a bone to the girls about what she calls them. And Sai holds a Thanksgiving party for Bryn in her honor. That's basically the gist of the episode. So let's get into the queens of the episode. So this week I could not decide on just one queen. I had to go with two. The first queen definitely has to be Uba because she brought a lot this episode. She obviously has been the comic relief for a lot of the show. And she still was that a little bit, especially at the end where she couldn't pronounce cackling. She had to look up what a cackling hag was. That was very funny. But she went a little deeper this week. And again, she did the very savvy and smart housewife business move that I knew she would do from the beginning of the show, which was to promote her hot sauce brand. But then she also gets a little deeper and talks about, missing her mother and the types of loneliness she kind of feels. Because even though she has friends and she's not isolated in terms of socializing, I guess that emotional support and backing of a mom, the love of a mother, something that really is very important, cannot be replaced. And I just felt like she finally got a good edit and you got to see many sides of her. And she's just showing that she's a boss and a good just housewife to watch. So I thought she definitely came out in one of the best edits that we've ever seen for her. So I got to give her that. And then Sai gets clean because she also continued to just show her heart and hosting that Thanksgiving party for Bryn was really nice of her. And you could see that she has a very strong marriage with her husband, so she chose very well, very balanced, and I love to see that for her. So I give both these women queen. Maybe I'm leaving it a little bit more for Uba as the main queen, but Sai definitely stepped up this episode as well. Now, Bryn, my heart totally went out to her this episode. And even Sai, like we said earlier, decided to change up her plans and, host the whole Thanksgiving in her honor because it's very clear that Bryn is holding a lot of emotional scars and trauma from her past. And just everything that she talks about this episode from, her hair journey and how, she used to not really have people around her that could take care of her hair. And finally, after getting bullied in school and her grandma not really knowing what to do, a coworker stepped up and, you know, gave her the drop on a good hair salon. And for women of color, especially Black women, a hair salon and people who know how to take care of you and help you with self care and things like that is so important. I remember when I was in college and I went to school in New Hampshire and I took a bus all the way to Boston every month just to, get my hair done. And it was so important for me to also have the cultural connection and like the people pouring into you that understood you, understood like, your hair needs and also just like emotional support. There's so many things, there's movies like Barbershop that try to tap into it. I thought Bryn did a really good job, showcasing that aspect of her life through that window of, the hair journey is very cool. And then later on, of course, the end of the episode, you see she kind of breaks down thinking about and trying to talk about, all the things that she went through as a child with the neglect and abuse. And oh, it brought some tears to my eyes just thinking of her as like a 6 month old getting treated so poorly. So my heart went out to her, and I was very proud of Sai for, having the Thanksgiving for her. It showed that their friendship did have some kind of basis. Apparently, they did fall out later on in the season, and they're not as close now. But I'm glad to see them support each other, and specifically, Sai support Bryn in this moment, at least. In terms of who was naughty this episode, that award has to go to Jenna because she proved that she can be a bone collector. She can be messy and she is with the foolishness sometimes because she runs back and tells Erin that, Jessel called her cackling hag, her and the other girls. And Jessel, I guess, admits to her husband that she used that word. But I don't think that Jenna did that without thinking about how Jessel had, treated her gift and how ungrateful Jessel was being. So even though she was asked about it in the confessional, she blamed it on, I guess, the old lady brain. But in my eyes, I don't think she has forgiven Jessel for her bad behavior. And she's not copping to it. I respected her more. She's like, yeah, Jessel is dead to me, or I didn't appreciate Jessel, so I'm, low key getting my lick back by, telling on her and bone collecting in this way. But I don't know if she has processed fully her feelings, and maybe she's gonna stop bone collecting after this because clearly she's not proud of it since she's deflecting in the confessionals. But I don't know, maybe she is gonna be the bone collector of Rhony, and I'm more curious to see now how she's gonna act in the future. But very naughty Jenna, but also low key good work keeping up the drama. And last but not least, who's in timeout this episode? Definitely Jessel again. I'm sorry. I'm glad that she seems to want to patch things up with her husband. And shout out to Pavitt. He was so patient with her. Oh my gosh, she's probably gonna be in House Husband Hall of Fame because this guy has the patience of a saint. I'm glad how he was writing for her and he refused to call her the B word, even though she herself was like, "Oh, I guess I would be the B," you know. And yeah, I just love to see that somebody, being there for their spouse. And they were, I guess, starting off their scene in the episode talking about their children and what school they're going to place them in. And um, I don't like that he was kind of downplaying the Montessori school because Montessori schools are excellent schools. They teach children life skills. And I get that public schools can be good, but depending on the neighborhood, on the amount of taxes that make it to the school and the funding situation. And not all public schools are created equal, but Montessori schools in general tend to be good. So I was more agreeing with Jessel there about, the school, but I felt like she was not owning what she had been doing and saying to the girls as much. She at least wants to, you know, correct the intimacy situation with her husband because she talked about them renting a hotel and, you know, eliminating the married with children tax, which I thought was cute. But at the end of the day, she's in timeout because I still don't think she's owning her part in, offending the girls, and does not seem like she's self aware, yeah, or even willing to want to try to read the room more with the girls since she's calling them cackling hags and all these things. It's like she's adding offense on top of all the old offenses. So she gotta hopefully look back at these episodes and change her ways. Hopefully she's gonna apologize to the girls, but that brings me to predictions. So for next week, um, you're gonna see, at least from the previews, Erin is gonna be more, I guess, vocal about what Jessel has been doing and saying that's rubbing people the wrong way. I also see that Bryn is going to try to go after Jenna again, which I don't like. She did it before, during the Hampton trip, trying to get Jenna in trouble. And this preview, I guess she talks about Jenna as like a liar, which I don't get that from Jenna at all. So I do think that Bryn is doing the oldest housewife trick in the book, which is going after the most famous, or going after the queen bee, for the camera time. And I'm not liking it. I think Bryn can shine on her own without resorting to those types of antics, but we got to see what Jenna does, because in this episode, she does prove that she can be with the drama and with the foolishness by bone carrying. But from what I can see, I don't see Jenna as a liar. Maybe she can be a little messy, but we shall see. So let's go ahead and like and comment on how you felt about the episode. Also, if you go to the Lean channel on YouTube, Tuesdays we always have a great and lengthier panel discussion, about the shows and the things that come up. So tune into that this Tuesday at 8:30, every Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern time. And just remember that you are the master of your fate and you are the captain of your soul. And have a wonderful rest of your day and week. Bye.